Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Clean Gaming. I'm your host Chilindo, and this video is part of a series where I get the speedrun achievement in Shovel Knight. Just so everyone is aware, this is not a single session speedrun. I will not take credit for something that awesome. Yeah, this level, I'm trying to remember just how painful this was. I remember this being pretty painful because of all the spikes everywhere. First playthrough, it reminded me a lot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle level where you just couldn't get through without losing several turtles. Yeah, I did have a good amount of trouble with this one. Especially, there's one part in particular I will point it out, but I just could not get through successfully. It was excruciating. But it's coming up here. There's a way you can jump straight over those blocks, and it saves you a lot of time and frustration. You can never pull that off properly, but highly recommend it if you can pull it off. This screen was just a mess. I could never get the slimes to be exactly where I wanted them to be. I kept getting hit, so I just kind of fumbled through it as quickly as I could. Found out about the health there and went ahead and took it. Didn't need the gold anymore, so I just skipped that. Here's the part where I really struggled with it. I kept getting knocked off of this thing in several different places, and it just made me so mad. The biggest problem was this guy right here, who would always drop at the wrong moment and knock me straight off, and managed to get that. Once I got that, I was like, yes, I'm gonna make it, because he was the biggest problem. Knocked me off like 8 times in a row. Awful. I was able to juggle over these things just right up to this point. Can't remember if I got over successfully here or not. Yes. Managed to get through. There's a music note I didn't get. Very happy by this point. After getting through that area, I was just like mentally jumping up and down. I was so happy. I think I made it to these screens, this screen a couple of times once I actually managed to get through that moving screen, or that floating screen. So this moving screen is just a lot easier in comparison for me, and so I was able to jump up and get through it fairly quickly, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure if I had to replay this screen or not. I don't think I did. There was a couple instances where I was worried I was going too slow, I was going to get squished, but no, pretty much by the time I get to this point, I'm way ahead, and was able to get up there and be happy. So many points on this, I was like, please move faster, screen. Please move faster. My one frustrating thing that kept happening is the speedrun actually did a number on my controller I was using for this series, and I was so rough on the jump button and the shovel button that they actually stopped responding at some point. I think I almost destroyed 2 of the buttons. No, almost fell, and I did fall. Yeah, I do have to redo this screen. That made me so frustrated because there was no way for me to speed up how fast that screen moves, so I knew I was losing a lot of time. But I still felt like I had enough time in the bag to make this work out. Getting through the same screens again. But yeah, going back to the controller, the jump button and the shovel button got so much abuse from this series that at some point they started jamming up, and like I'd hit the jump button and it wouldn't jump, and I'd hit the shovel button and it wouldn't shovel, and that made this getting through these last couple levels a huge headache. I mean, I was panicking almost, because I was like, well, I want to plug in my other controller, but I'm so used to this controller. I've been practicing with this controller so much that I didn't want to change up what was working before, and so I just kind of like started pressing the buttons harder. By the end of the series, my thumb was in so much pain. It was like I had gamer's thumb. Is what my wife called it. Because I kept hitting the buttons so hard to make sure they registered, which only made the problem worse over time. That I think I bruised my thumb. So yeah, got through to this end. I was so happy. I was like, yes. Still feel like I was making good time. Can't remember how well I did on this part. I feel like I had to replay this one once or twice. I don't remember now. Guess we're gonna find out. I might have made this, I might have got through this the first try. I can't remember. Why is it that I can sometimes get him to stay put and sometimes I can't? I never understood that. I'm doing something wrong, I just don't know what it is. I'm sure there's some way you have to hit him where he bounces back to the wall and you end up being in good shape again. Does he have to be, probably, he may have to be a certain distance away from the wall or something like that. I don't know. Got through him pretty quickly, was pretty happy with it. At the end, I think I again, just like the first time through, I had trouble getting to him, and I lost a lot of health getting that last little bubble of his health. I was so frustrated. Started like just swinging randomly at where I thought he might be. And finally got him there. Lost like 3 bubbles of health, 2 bubbles of health at the end. Awful. King Knight was, I think, pretty easy for me. Just like before, just kind of spam the shovel button. Those turkeys help out a lot, by the way. Getting those turkeys between boss fights makes, I mean, if this would have been a lot more of a challenge if there weren't those turkeys in between fights. But with the turkeys in between fights and you have 7 bubbles of health by this point, if you get the health, made it where you could get through most of the boss fights at full health starting out. You have no problem with that. It's basically like having a check. You basically end up with having a checkpoint before every boss at full health. Sure, you can do that once you're used to it. Polar Knight didn't pose much of an issue. First time through the series, I died so many times with Polar Knight. You probably remember if you watched the original series, but this time was not a problem. Propeller Knight again, just like kicking myself that I didn't get the Treasure Knight anchor. So mad because it does lose some time. You lose some valuable seconds getting him out of the air again. He's got to kind of wait on all the bombs and wait on all the things that he does. You can hit him once or twice, but can't really hit him reliably enough to end the encounter. And then he comes back down and you want to finish him off as quickly as possible, which I did here. Excelente. Treasure Knight, I believe, was a pushover yet again. No problem, just jump shovel spamming, and, you know, that's that. Go ahead and grab the turkey and then take him out of the end there. Plague Knight. Had more of an issue with him because I didn't get to trap him underneath an overhang like I did in the regular boss fight, but it went well enough. Was able to get him down. Got the turkey by mistake, the chicken by mistake there. Didn't mean to grab it, but it just kind of happened, and I was at full health, so I was okay with it, no problem. Once I got him kind of in that side there, I felt pretty good. I took a lot of health with him just being stuck over there, so it helped me out a good bit to get rid of him. Mole Knight, don't remember how tough he was on this attempt. I always try to save that chicken until I'm low on health that way, because it refills your health totally. So any health that you still have remaining is kind of a waste. Ended up losing the chicken there, unfortunately, because it got smashed into the wall. Should have taken it, but didn't. At that point, I was actually thinking during the gameplay, I was like, oh no, I made a mistake. I'm gonna lose. And I remember it had a potion, and I went ahead and used it. And figured it was the appropriate time if I was going to use a potion. Use it after I lost the full health turkey there. Full health chicken. One thing I learned from this, I didn't realize on the first time, is that if he's going past you on the ground, if you go ahead and hit him while he's still sliding around on the ground, you don't take damage, just like when he's flying through the air. Got the gear wheel ready for the Tinker Knight, which is the last one remaining. Set that off, and there he goes. got near the chicken because I figured I'd get a chance to get it, but he smashes it, so I end up losing the chicken. Frustrating, right? But then I get up there and I just, you know, pogo stick his head over and over and over again. And this time I think I did a better job. I don't think I got knocked off one time because I was prepared for him to go back and forth, which I wasn't prepared for the first time. Oh, I did get knocked off, but I got right back up on the big guy. I was a little, I just felt like I was a little more controlled with staying on top of the machine. Tinkerknight, I had the least trouble with Tinkerknight on any of the attempts, on any in the regular series and the speedrun series. I had an easier time with him than any other boss, I think. Other than maybe King Knight. King Knight might have been the only one that was easier. Can't remember. So, near the end of the video, thank you. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. And remember, keep it clean.